As you were hearing Norman Floyd Barnes, he was talking about how Homeland Security and the movement regarding Minnesota first claiming the life of Helen Good in a fatal shooting, and then just very recently Alex Pretty, a nurse who was detained, gunned down, and this is causing major move away from the support for making America great again or the campaigns for Donald Trump. I want your observations, how you felt about it.
Well, it's an unfortunate event. The way they have been shut down, especially the earlier incident in Minnesota and later on in Minneapolis, and even in his own party, the Republicans are protesting. Republicans are protesting against this shooting. US President Barack Obama publicly made the statement. His predecessor, Bill Clinton, both Democrat presidents, as well as within the parties, within the Republican Party, I think criticism is coming out, and they're reiterating about the fact that they should abandon this activity. So they have been replaced as well. So I think that should ring the bell of Donald Trump, as Floyd was discussing about the winter storm as well. So the international relations of United States of America is in definitely in jeopardized situation, because now you can see how Canada has reacted, and there is a discussion going on. I saw a very epic picture of the Danish Parliament, how they reacted through laughing as if Mr. Donald Trump is a clown and he has been denied Nobel Peace Prize. So nominating Donald Trump for Nobel Peace Prize, that's the reaction. Danish Parliament's scene clears it all. So it's not, he's not only criticized within the state, but outside, beyond the borders of United States of America. So he's severely criticized. Now it is time to see. Now Donald Trump is a kind of character that you need to show him character, because there are two ways of dealing him. Because these constant protests, that has made him to change his policy. I think Americans, they themselves taught the whole world that how to change his policies. Because if you, how he has been handled by the world, world community,
right,
and how he has been handled by the US citizens themselves. So you can see, like, there is a way of handling, like what Swiss Prime Minister did, that she went there with a gold bar, she went there with a Swiss watch, and 35% tariffs been imposed on Switzerland, and later on it's been decreased or plummeted down to 15%. So
right,
that's the way of dealing it. Well, I can remember the event of 1983 when President Ronald Reagan attacked, yes, the Commonwealth Caribbean island, Grenada, and they stormed over there, and they pushed away some of the folks. Well, Margaret Thatcher, without informing Margaret Thatcher, without informing his British counterparts, Margaret Thatcher she was furious about it, but she never showed it publicly, because that's the way. Because Europe's security, Europe's defense is pretty much intertwined with the United States of America. Now, definitely in private, she actually expressed her anger, she expressed her criticism, right, but in public, she remained loyal to this friendship, to this ally, US-Europe allies. Now Britain has come out of European Union, but the European Union, they signed a trade deal with India. That's a very landmark trade deal for them. So things are getting out of Donald Trump's hand. So it's better that, because you have to understand, you have to accept that the world order has collapsed. There is a new world order. The Security Council, the UN, anyone, Charter 27, that any state will not interfere in any internal matter of the state, right, if that internal matter affects international, until and unless, even the UN will not interfere until and unless that internal matter of the state affects international peace and security. Those days are gone by. Right. Now the 18th century has come back. The Monroe Doctrine, now the Donald Trump named over after himself, the Monroe Doctrine. So the world order has changed. Look how Canada has reacted. because the way they're putting forward their statements against the United States of America and their tariff strategy. So this is a lesson for the world community, that how within the Republican Party, the citizens, the peoples of America have reacted. The world community has to react. Now there is a risk, because it's very interesting to see how Donald Trump reacts while you go there to ingratiate him, and how he reacts while you go there with a backbone and face him. Well, there are two strategies that I'm reiterating again and again. Look how he admires Vladimir Putin, how he admires Xi Jinping, and how he admires Netanyahu, because they don't come out of their stand. But those who have who has come out of their stands, he is putting austerity measures on them. So that's the way to deal with it. I think the American people has to come out of their shells, and they have to understand. Definitely, it's very unfortunate, the winter storm that's been going on. People within America, they're in distress. So we express our solidarity for them. But they have to understand that another 3 years of this madness could not only destroy the world order, but it could create a World War III. So it is high time that not only the world community, not only the Europe, but it is the American people who has to come forward. So definitely in New York, we have seen how Mamdani has came out of, but it is always the Democrats' stronghold. So it's not something different for New Yorkers. But now it is time that Europe should take its own strategy. European Union is a kind of union. It's economically is very strong, politically is very distant, and militarily it's enormously weak.
We were talking about how Europe had historic ties with the US and how it has strained regarding Greenland. But this time around, we see when Mark Carney had visited China, there was a certain distinguished investment from China in towards Canada, especially electric vehicles. And that is when this tariff ideology, Donald Trump's 100% tariff on Canada, this came out. This time around, UK's Keir Starmer is in China, of course, his first official visit ever since 2018. So it's been a while, to say the least, almost 8 years, if I'm not wrong. And we've seen that a queue of leaders flocking to the world's second largest economy, China. It included France's Emmanuel Macron last December. And in next month, we will see the German Chancellor Friedrich Merz visiting China, as well as Carney did right before arriving at Davos. All of this coming to that point where the European nations are seeing a second option other than the United States or mainland United States. What's your observation? How do you see the coming days?
Well, if you are asking me that whether there is a 100% tariff again coming up on UK or not, I don't know. The Donald Trump's next announcement will make it clear, because whoever is visiting China, he is imposing tariff on that nation. Well, it's a great strategy, but Keir Starmer, he reiterated about the fact again and again that it's not about visiting China or having a dichotomy with US. It's about, because you are going to a country which is one of the second largest economy of the world. So they are very much open-minded. So this is why they're going over there. That's the Foreign Office statement of United Kingdom. So you have to understand, till now, Britain is very cautious about their alliance with the United States of America. Well, what Mark Carney did is remarkable. It's kind of revolutionary, and he, in his soft tone, he actually admitted, well, for some people it's an astonishing claim, but it's the reality of the 21st century that the new world order has broken, and we are into a new world order. So definitely, Chinese, you have been to London, I have been to London as well.
Yes.
There are a lot of Chinese investment in London, and definitely a lot of students go over there, Chinese students go over there for study, and definitely there is an opportunity, and Chinese will come up with their new trade investment plan with the United Kingdom. Now, what we have to see, what is the reaction of President Donald Trump? if he consistently tries to put tariff on all the European allies, then the situation could really turn against him, because United States of America is a distant country, but his tariff policy, if he consistently keep imposing tariffs on his European allies, then the whole Europe could turn it down, and whole Europe can turn towards Russia, China, and definitely India as well. As you have seen, there is a remarkable trade deal, important trade deal between India and European Union, and
Right.
A free trade area has been open for 2 billion people. It is one of the landmark king of all deals. That's how European Union president has termed it. So definitely the fate of NATO, and it's a long long after visit, because after 2018, when Theresa May last
Yes.
visited China back in 2018, but later on there is a espionage and spy claims between China and UK. But now in this changed situation in the world, I think there are some new axes that would be coming out in the coming month. But if you want my opinion, I think Donald will reinvigorate his strategy, and definitely he will come up with some talks, come up with some negotiations with the European counterpart, as you have seen in the internal matters of the United States. Because when it is about to come out or go out of his hands, he actually resembles, or he admits, or he bow down or succumbed to the demand. So I think the next 2 to 3 weeks will determine that where world would be heading towards.